Evening, people. It's instant match reaction. Welcome to Born and Red. It's me, Asim. It's Avi. It's Gene. It's a frustrating draw. Lads. It was billed as a top table clash. I didn't see it as a top of the table clash. I saw it as one team wanting to win, and another team wanting to get a draw, wanting to defend and clearing it from about 80 yards and shooting about from 50 yards. They had a centre back who was on steroids. He should be going in for a drugs test. But apart from that, it was a game of two halves, not in the sense of where Nottingham Forest dominated us, Avi, but it was it all dependent on how we played. I thought the first half was slightly passive at times. We controlled them really, really well, but we had a go in the second half. We made brave choices in the second half. Where we got the goal, but we should have got more.
Yeah, we should have got more. I thought the first half, Asim, and good evening everyone in the chat. I thought first half we were really poor. It could have been 2-0 to Forest. They deserved it. They bullied us again, and it's not the first time that this team under Arne Slot, even under Jurgen Klopp, has been bullied by the lesser teams. I also feel Asim Slot was fixated a bit too much about this result. He's been speaking about this result, not on the weekly, but very frequently, and I just thought it showed today. I just thought it showed on the pitch. Second half, we should have won it. Plenty of chances, but plenty of poor performances again from this team. That we should be closing in on the title, but we don't help ourselves. And people will say, "Oh, they're second in the league. They've played so well this season. Forest they're very resilient." No excuses. They were there for the taking. And we should have put another sort of stamper on this title tonight, but it wasn't to be.
Gene, you rang me a few times during the game, venting your frustration. But what did you make of the first? I thought, we controlled the game. It was an unbelievable atmosphere. We weren't lucky enough to be there tonight. But you can tell from the TV screens. I've gone to that ground, and I've always said it, for the amount of fans that are only in that pitch, they make the noise of 60,000 fans in that stadium, Gene. But I thought we controlled the game, but our lapse of concentration, we were passive with their goal, and it just changed the game. And they don't concede goals anyway. So in a way, I'm grateful we got one. I think they haven't conceded in about 6 hours of football, Gene.
Yeah.
But I thought we'll come to the second half, but just the start of the game, Gene, I thought we controlled them, and then their first attack, the game's changed.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I thought we settled really, really quickly in terms of the way we were passing. Yes, we weren't really creating much, but we were controlling the game. And then you have a lapse of concentration. Salah was so, for me, if I'm honest with you, Asim, I don't know why he didn't have the ball back. Salah normally would, you go head the ball back to Trent. He pulled out the tackle. He should have done a lot better. And then in terms of defensive shape, it wasn't there. One little ball through, and Wood, we were talking about this. His percentages in terms of goal scoring is unbelievable. I think he's highest in the Premier League, and it was easy. It was a shit goal to concede because Van Dijk could have got out. I felt Alisson maybe could have done better with the shot.
You think so?
I thought Alisson was very poor. It's not the first time since Ali's got back, Asim.
You think Alisson should have saved it?
Yeah. Wood didn't hit it with power. Go on, Gene.
It was a good finish, man.
Gene, you're on mute.
Sorry, it was a good finish, Asim, but I just felt maybe could have in terms of his angles could have got it slightly better. But you know what? Look, I'm not gonna. The first half, Asim, if I'm honest with you, we were slightly toothless with the final ball. We just didn't really create much. That was our biggest control was there, but no end product. And then we concede a goal. It changes the game. But I was still confident, Asim, that because we controlled the game, that the chances would come in the second half. But first half, all in all, it was okay in terms of control, but to concede a goal like that, man, it just pisses me off because it's happened a few times now.
Avi, what do you mean by Slot was fixated with Nottingham Forest in the first half? Can you elaborate?
First half, I just thought, this season, as soon as when we lost that game, he's mentioned him a few times. And then he mentioned him again, I think yesterday, was it, at the pre-match presser when he said, I'm not surprised that they're there with the money that he spent. I just felt that he should have just navigated himself out of speaking about Nottingham Forest. He's giving them too much sort of credentials, and he's been talking about them on the weekly, or very frequently about Forest, that game, that game, that game. And I just thought in the first half, because he's been so fixated with that result, the team just looked lackluster first half. Asim, we looked lackadaisical, and the goal that we conceded from Wood, that's not the first time since the turn of the year we're conceding easy goals again.
Mm,
We could be that defense that was marshaled very early on, very well early on, and we thought Johnny Heiting has come in and he's changed things around. He's made us more structured, made us more tighter. We're seeing that leaky defense again, very similar to the one that we saw post January last season during Jurgen Klopp.
Avi, where does the blame lie for the first goal?
Salah should have done better.
Okay.
I thought the shape was wrong. I don't know why Van Dijk was so deep, but Salah, he needs to go in for that. If he's gonna break a foot, he's gonna break a foot. But I thought he could have won that. He did want something similar in the second half as well, Asim, where he just sort of backed out, and then Yates gets the ball. And I just want to give praise to Yates and Anderson, Elliot Anderson. They're proper war dogs in the middle of that park, big bullies. They remind me of Robbie Savage and Neil Lennon back in the day for Leicester City, just sitting in there, annoying as hell. Technically not the greatest of footballers, but they do a job for them, and they've been key. Alongside, obviously, they've got the key man that hurt us, Wood, Alanga, and Hudson Odoi. But those two, and Gibson White, but those two in the middle, they're very pivotal for them.
What did you make of the start, Sim? What did you make of? I thought, because honestly, I don't, Avi mentions lackadaisical for the goal, maybe, but I thought, generally speaking, in terms of the performance, I was okay with it. If I'm honest with you, Asim, I thought, you know what, we didn't create chances, but we would control the game.
What I would say is Nottingham Forest probably were happy with it, because I think we had about 5-6 shots and everything was played in front of them. We had about 25, 30-yard shots, and they were happy with that. But I think in terms of Arne Slot coming, it was obvious. It was an obvious plan, Gene. We wanted to control the game and get their wingers, their threat, their outball as deep as possible, so we can pin them. And I think we did that for the first 5-10 minutes until the game changed. We lost a few second balls, and they're a really good transition side. But for the tactics, I think I've never seen this season Robertson, especially the first phase of play in build up, so high up inside top of their box. And it was an obvious tactic to get Elanga really deep, and it worked to an extent, and we control the game. But with all due respect, Andy Robertson is not that. It reminds me of Jordan Henderson playing that decoy run, where back to goal and making that run in between the left back and the centre back, and he hardly got the ball. And it's a selfless type of role. But with all due respect, he's not a Guardiola where he can return and on the half space, he can turn on the half turn. He can't receive a ball. So they were happy with it. And the thing is, Gakpo's not going to come inside because Slot wants him to, stretch the opposition and come inside with his favoured foot. So, yes, we control the game, but Nottingham Forest would say, fine, have it in front of us and shoot from 20 yards. So I understand the tactic, but it's Robertson is not that player, and it's absolutely beyond criminal now that if these owners do not back this manager and bring a left back that he really, really trusts, and he can play week in, week out in all environments, in all structures, he has to be backed. Because, in first half, yes, if you're attacking down that side, and it's such a pivotal role being on top of the box, if you're not able to receive, it's easy to defend. And look at the centre backs they've got, and they ask him, Gakpo, if you want to shoot from 30 yards, Diaz, if you want to go into those spaces, we don't mind. Try to take us on. And they weren't following. At times they were jumping out, but they were really resolute. And it was defense against attack. And second half we changed it. Obviously, we'll talk about that. But I thought we were fine, but that was just a shocker. And I think Liverpool have been showing this gene for a while now in games where they're a bit passive, whether it's their defenders not engaging, whether it's some midfielder losing the duel. This manager is fixated, to use Avi's term, about duels. I mean, if you don't win a couple of duels, especially against a counter-attacking side, you're going to be in trouble. And like I said, the game changed and the crowd was up, the players were up, and they brought it to second half. We changed it and we changed the game. I think we deserved to win in the end, the amount of chances that we had. But I want to stay with Robertson because he's taking a lot of stick. I don't like people abusing a player. There should be a line. But this criticism now, Avi, I think is justified.
the criticism is justified, Asim, but like you said, it's a position that we need to address and address it. He did in the second half. As soon as Slot and Tsimikas and Jota comes on, Tsimikas puts in it's a pretty good cross, actually, very good cross. And Jota gets at the end of it, and I think he had to double check that it went in. Look, Asim, we can say that we want a left back, but we're not going to get one in January. We're going to have to.
Why, Avi? Why?
But who's going to be available now to move in January? Bournemouth are not going to sell Kirkes. Not that I think we've moved that sort of. I think we've moved there from the metrics and from the player profile. I think we've moved on from there. Hayter is the realistic one we can get from Ajax, but he's 17. Asim, he's 17, 18. You can't just thrust him in. United, even, fair play to them. It's the first time I've seen it in a long time. They're not thrusting Lenny Euro, and even since his injury.
Why are other clubs doing deals? And when it comes to Liverpool, it's all these, buzzwords, opportunistic, all these absolutely garbage. If you really want to do a deal, you can do a deal, Avi. Why? Because you have to show balls, you have to show ambition. And these owners don't have it. Simple as. And if we don't win the league, there's only one answer. And there's only one frustration. And your finger pointing at someone, and it's the direction of the owners. I'm telling you now, because at times we do look a bit leggy, Avi. We do look a bit leggy.
Listen, when we were leggy, when we were when we were under Klopp, 21-22, when we got in Diaz, right? That was fresh impetus. We needed that. Then we got in Gakpo in that January. I'm not saying there's not deals to be done, but the left back profile, Asim, you've mentioned it many times on the threads that you've done. It's a particular role that we're looking for. Now, that player profile, I think Jarell Hato can do it, but you're not going to thrust an 18-year-old straight into a title running charge. You're not going to do that. You're not going to say, yeah, listen, here you go. Next 17 games, it doesn't work like that, football. There should be other profiles. Hincapi. But do I buy Leverkusen really going to do business right now in January when they're nearly on top of the league, the 6 away from Bayern, they're in the Champions League, they don't need to sell. So January, especially like in a particular position that we need, it is hard to do business. And this is not me sucking up to FSG. I've called them out in recent weeks. I think the contract situation is going to have a hindrance on our season. It will have a hindrance on our season. Because if the minute that Salah misses an opportunity or has a lackadaisical game, the minute that Trent drops off again, the criticism will be there. The criticism will be there, and rightly so. But that should be pointed at the owners. 100% it should be owners. I'm not here to kiss their ass anymore, Asim. I will give them shit now because this has gone for far too long. If you're not sorting out contracts in the middle of January now, assume that all 3 are off.
Gina, I feel we're playing Diaz at the moment because I think Slot against just what Avi was on about. I don't know how many times Slot has mentioned the word Nottingham Forest or the team Nottingham Forest. He would have loved to beat him tonight. He couldn't finally asleep. But Diaz playing in this role, I feel like he's been playing because we want a bit of control coming into midfield. He can recycle play a lot more than Jota. But I feel like we need to keep Jota fit now, especially against stubborn defenses, because we missed that proper fox in the box.
Yeah, and that's what Jota gives you, Asim. He gives you that predatory nous in the 6-yard box. In left foot, right foot, he will get you that goal. He was unlucky not to get that. The keeper made an unbelievable save when he hit it with his left foot in the second half as well. He could have had a couple. And that's what he gives you. Look, Diaz, it wasn't Diaz's best performance. I thought he was crap, if I'm honest. I thought in the first half, come on, man, Asim, the way he played that ball from the inside of his foot when he should have been from the out, it was ridiculous, man. We're 2-on-1. You have to be able to pick Gakpo and play him in. And he played the ball with his inside of his foot. Asim, I'm thinking, what are you doing? Just wait a second and play him in the outside of the boot he tried, not inside. And I'm sat there thinking, what are you bloody doing, man? I thought he was poor. I thought, to be fair, I thought even Salah, don't even get me started on him today. I must have flipped on him so many. I'm his biggest fan, but that was a shocking display from him. He missed some big chances today. And at times I just felt as though, especially in the first half, he was going at Nico Williams, and Nico Williams beat him every single time.
He played well today.
He played really well. And look, you got to give the defense of Forest a lot of credit. They defended resolutely. They defended, they put their hearts on the line. It was their cup final. They gave it everything they've got. But we've still got the quality. We've still created a lot of chances, and we should have won the game. Like you
Mm.
mentioned,
When
we
Salah's
were
not
lucky
doing
not to win the game.
when Salah's not doing it, Asim, the season that he's
Yeah.
had, right? He's got over 20 goals already. When he's not doing it, I expect the likes of Diaz. Everyone knows that he's one of my favorites. Diaz to get the game off the scruff of the neck, release some pressure from Salah. Gakpo, do something different. Those two were very bad today. Gakpo was awful today. Diaz was, Diaz first off, yes, he was trying, getting deeper, getting the ball, but nothing was going in for him. They had a comfortable day, the centre backs, Mourinho and the other fella. Second half, again, he comes off, Jota comes on, yes, gets the goal, but we're still on the peripheral.
This, when you come up against stubborn defenses and they're really compact, I think this is where we really lack that 1v1 threat. Salah doesn't have the pace that he used to have.
I'm gonna have to drop. I'm gonna be back in 15.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
15.
fine. Gene, that 1v1 threat, we don't have. We don't have. I can remember Guardiola winning the league and bringing Doku. Doku obviously hasn't worked out the way he has, but he's a proper winger who will keep going at the fullback. We don't have that. Diaz plays, he doesn't go the outside. We've been crying out for years. Gakpo doesn't go on the outside, and Aina, stuck to his task really, really well, and he's got pace. But we just miss that attacker who can go on the outside.
We do, Asim. We there's so many instances when we get 1-on-1 with their fullback, and I wasn't really confident that our players were gonna beat him, and we have to always come inside. The amount of time Gakpo comes inside and looks for that cross, to the far post. Salah did the same a couple of times in the first half. There's no unpredictability in our play. Look, we got the. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit in and say that we do have an amazing attack. I was calling.
You've gone off.
I was calling out for Chiesa in the second half. I wanted him to come on. Because I think he just gives you that X factor. And yes, he might not be fully fit, but giving him 15 minutes, Salah wasn't having his best game. Let him on, give him a chance. Because one thing with Chiesa, Asim, is he's a bit of a chance magnet. He will go at you, and he's something completely different.
Did you want Chiesa? Because there's been a bit of talk about online. I've not spent enough time on Twitter because we had to come on the show, but there's been a bit of talk and a bit of frustration from fans that where was Chiesa? Where was Harvey Elliott? There's a few fans saying this was a Harvey Elliott type of game. Do you agree?
To be honest with you, I think the game was the second half was so up and down, free flowing attack versus attack. At times that maybe you could have seen an Elliott come in there and play, but we needed legs, man. Because it was open. You had to be able to get up and down that pitch. I don't. You can't really expect a Harvey Elliott to come on at that time, but Chiesa. Definitely, man. Our wingers weren't playing great. This was a chance to maybe give him 10, 15 minutes. Okay, go at Nico Williams. Give him something different to think about.
You would have taken Salah off.
I would have taken Salah off. I think he was absolutely abysmal today. You sometimes, when a player is, I get, and I've always been his biggest, fan. That leave him on, because Salah is that type of player that will be able to get you a goal from nothing. But today, I couldn't see him scoring. It's the first time I'm saying that. I just couldn't see him scoring. And plus,
Gene, for me, Salah had an absolute shocker. But he still could have had a few assists tonight. And that ball that he plays down the channel, for whether it's Szoboszlai running down the channel or the striker or the underlapping the fullback. Yeah, he was absolute shite tonight. But I feel like he has to stay on the pitch because he can turn a game like this with the blink of an eye.
Yeah, look, I get that, because there's times whenever he does come off, the opposition don't see Salah on the pitch and they get an extra 10 to 15%, and then it makes it difficult for us. But honestly, today, man, he just missed so many chances, and I was getting so frustrated with his performance and everything that, Nico Williams, Asin, man. Flipping Nico Williams, man. With respect to him, come on, man. The guy had him in his pocket.
Yeah, he did. It was one of those games. What else? Chances that there was a chance with Jota that. What a save! He hit
Great
it
save.
right. It was like a sliding shot. Was it with his left foot? I think it was.
Left foot as well. He caught it well. Keeper made the save, man. We had Salah, one off the line. Salah, good save from the goalkeeper. Salah over the bar. Salah wide. Bloody hell, how many times do we want me to say Salah's name today? But there was a couple of times when I thought, pull the trigger. Dominic Szoboszlai, that ball you're talking about. Why are you trying to go across goal? Just have it. You've got a belter of a shot, have a goal, man.
Which one?
The one that when Salah played him in, and he's trying to go across goal. Go for Asim. He's got a banger, man. Bang it. There's only one person at the end of the box. There's two defenders. Go for it.
There's a few comments tonight. One from Ash. We have to put his up. How many crosses today with no one in the central area? Yeah, that's that's the thing now, isn't it, Ash? When you play Diaz, you're engineering more control in the game, but you're not going to have a fox in the box that's going to play on the shoulder of defenses and make that run across them. And when the crosses come in, he's going to be an ever-present striker in the box. You're not going to get that. Do you want control or do you want a poacher? And although Jota is not out and out poacher, because he will like to come deep and bulldoze his way through defenses, but he can obviously play that poacher role, and he's probably our best finisher at the club when you look at the stats. But Gene, 1 point gained or 2 points dropped?
It's always 2 points lost for me, Asim. It's always 2 points lost. We did more than enough to go out there and win the game. We had chances to win the game. We controlled the game. Yes, they had a couple of chances, but that's about it. We should have done a lot better. Yes, they defended unbelievably well at times. They were under a lot of pressure, but we should have put this game to bed, Asim. That's how it should have been. We should have been good enough to put this game to bed, and we didn't. So it's definitely 2 points lost. Look, all is not lost in terms of the league. I'm peed off today because I felt this was a massive game. If we was to beat Forest today, it just gives you that massive boost, the lift, especially with Arsenal going to play against the North London derby. Obviously, Chelsea, City both dropped points. I know that they probably matter right now, but it just wasn't one of them days. But you know what? We just got to go to Brentford and hopefully, get 3 points there. They had a good result today, losing 2-0 against City and coming back and drawing 2-2. So they'll be up for it against us on the weekend.
Yeah, 100%. Murillo, a few fans are saying we should be buying him in the summer as a bit of a decent audition. But when I had a chat with you on the phone just to have all time, I said he can't be clearing from all parts of the ground if he's at Anfield or he's at Liverpool. There's a lot more expected, of a defender. Yes, he's unbelievable in duels. I think his aerial duels are not great, but he's a great passer of the ball when he has time. He's got that great switch on him, hasn't he? And he shoots from 80 yards as well, which is he'll get one in one day. But I think can he be Liverpool class? Can he be Liverpool standard?
Asim, I really like him, and I've liked him every time I've seen him. And today, I know you're gonna say to me that he booted the ball out a few times and all that type of stuff. But from what I've seen, he's generally he's a good passer of the ball. Obviously, it's Liverpool. He's not going to take any chances when he's playing against Liverpool for what they consider as the biggest game of the season. So he's not the tallest either, Asim. That's maybe one of the reasons why he doesn't win as many duels as the others. But he's a really, really good player. I do like him. Would you consider him in the left back sort of position, Asim, in a three sort of?
No, I think he's limited in that area. If you start him in the left back and the right back goes, because Bradley or Trent is always the more advanced, which leaves the way we play Kanate at right back, Murillo at left back. I don't think he's good enough in wide areas. I think he's good when he's in possession and making balls across the field or into midfield. But I think in transition, I think we need more than that.
Mm-hmm.
He might be a bit too big in wide areas. And for a club like Liverpool, where, again, look, the second half, we were playing two fullbacks alongside the centre-back. We need flexibility. I don't think he's flexible enough. He's a good player for Nottingham Forest, a resolute defender. He'll wears his heart on his sleeve. But I don't know. Crypto has asked if he can play a 1v1 in a high line. I think he can play in the high line because he's got decent pace. He showed a bit of recovery pace covering, when he was covering his left back to getting to nullify Salah. But I don't think he's good enough for a really front foot team in those wide areas. Let's get some super chats in. Adhikari, thank you very much. I just hope and pray we get across the line in the league. Lucky City and Arsenal are off it. Virgil alone in back three. That's what we are doing. Scary. And I'll come to that in a bit, Gene. Let's go through them all. Param Singh, thank you very much for your super chat, mate. Yaro, if we don't win this title and these owners don't back Arnie with a hybrid defender, I don't know how much pain we fans can take anymore. I'm tired. We all are, bro. Muhammad Kibriya, as ever, sending his super chat and love and support and frustrations as well. We will go on a run now. Wow. We were unlucky. Keeper Beam Prime Buffon 6 points ahead with the game in hand. We take this all day long. Last summer, relax. I don't think we've got 6 points ahead. We're 7 now ahead, aren't we? Of Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think are still our main.
The same amount of games, yeah.
The same amount of games. Gene, that first super chat. I tweeted straight away after the game. There were some managers, and at times, even with our previous managers, although Klopp, had balls as well, but I felt at times when we were a bit passive and conservative, we were waiting for Mane to produce the moment of magic. We were waiting for Salah to produce the magic, or Bobby. But I think with this manager, he will try his best to provide the tools, and it may be risky. But I thought when he took off Kanate might have been tired, and he didn't want to risk him for 90 minutes because it was a physical game, and I understand it. But I feel like this manager is going to take the game to the opposition. And if it doesn't work out, then it's fine. But at least we were playing the right way in the second half.
Oh, look, you have to always give. I think he tried to do this in the game against Forest in the first leg, Asim, and we were looking at it thinking, what the hell are you trying to do? Because we've never really seen it. So when I saw him play the same sort of tactic in this game, it's obviously a tactic that he likes. It's obviously a tactic that he will probably go with if his team's losing 1-0 and he wants to go for it. And you got to give him credit. He's got the balls on the bottle to actually say, to basically say, bring it on, and we're going to take the game to you. Look, I like all of that. If we're losing, go for it. I've always been that type of guy that it's all in, all or nothing sort of thing. And yeah, look, you mentioned that.
Genie, you're gone again.
It is scary at times it is scary at times when you only see one real defender there. Especially when then you've got the likes of Trent and Robbo sort of thing next to you, and you're thinking, what the hell, where are all these defenders? But these guys will have trained and all that sort of things with this sort of formation. I'm not going to lie to him, when I see Robbo on that left-hand side, it gives me a lot of headache, I know we've already spoken about Robbo, but genuinely,
he's panicking, he's nervous.
He's just not good enough. I think that's what it boils down to. The player is simply not good enough to play at this level. This is going to cost us. I'm telling you now.
Do you think it'll cost us the title?
Well, if anything does cost us the title, bar injuries, it's going to be Robbo. I'm telling you right now, he's already cost us 3 or 4 times this season, and his issues has led to goals. He doesn't look comfortable. Every time he receives the ball, I don't feel as though he's comfortable on the ball. He feels that he knows what he's sort of doing. Look, we know he's limited. Let's face it, we know he's limited in that position. But honestly, like today, I was just like, bro, enough is enough, man. We have to go into the market and get a replacement. And Tsimikas, yeah, look, he did okay when he came on. He got the assist. He did okay. But truthfully, Asim, if you want to go on all fronts and you're going to say, look, we're going to try and go and win this Champions League and the title and everything, then it's not enough. Then Robbo and Tsimikas are simply not enough.
Avi, some fans, the hardcore, I know you're not a hardcore Harvey Elliott fan. You have been a hardcore Kwanzaa fan in the past with your academy history and pedigree and knowledge. Some fans will say he's not playing them and he's changing the structure to the team where he's inverting. He's playing centre back, Gravenberch in centre back positions and letting him go into midfield and splitting the two fullbacks as fullback centre backs alongside Van Dijk. Some fans, those hardcore fans of Kwanzaa and Elliott, will be saying he's just doing that because he doesn't trust the likes of Kwanzaa and Elliot. What do you make of that?
I think it's worrying. We saw against United, Kanate played the full game, didn't he, on Sunday against United? He played the full game, didn't he?
I
His first game
remember.
back. I think he played 90. He should never have played a full
Yes, he
game
did.
against United. And today he was brought off, and Kwanzaa again on the bench. It does seem as if he's not favouring him in the Premier League, Asim. And this is a catch-22 because you've got a young defender who's got the potential, who showed us his potential last season. But this season, because of lack of game time, and when he does get game time, he's having to impress slot straight away, and in turn he's making errors like we saw against Brighton in the league game, and we've seen a few shaky performances from Kwanzaa. The magnitude of this game, I don't think you can bring on like a Kwanzaa, because one mistake, it will just transcend, and that can knock a young defender's confidence, and from there on in, it's very hard to play catch up again. I think Kwanzaa, there's a decision to be made in the summer with him. If we bring in another centre back and Joe Gomez stays, Kanate is there, Van Dijk is there, if he signs a new contract, then you've got to give Kwanzaa game time elsewhere, hopefully Premier League competition. Because right now, I don't blame Slot for not bringing him on, because it's obvious that he does have a little bit, you can't trust him in tight situations. And when you've got Alanga and Hudson-Odoi and Chris Wood, I mean, we've seen Kwanzaa get bullied, by forwards. And Chris Wood could easily have done that today. So I get why he's not playing him. But the Gravenberch, helping out Van Dijk at the back, that's not solving any issue. With Harvey Elliott, my stance on that. I've always been worried about Harvey Elliott in this Liverpool team in the future. After Klopp, when I was worried about Harvey Elliott, I'm still worried about Harvey Elliott. I don't think he has a future at this football club beyond the summer.
Gene, what did you make of it? I kind of like it.
I do. I like the fact that he's ruthless enough that if he doesn't like a player, then he'll say, you know what, you're not good enough, and that's one thing of liking about it. But the other thing, Asim, is if the manager is not happy with certain players, he's been here for what now, 5, 6, 7 months. He's seen how good this team are, which players that he wants, which player he likes, and which players he doesn't. It's on him now to go to the owners and say, listen, we've got an unbelievable team. The squad isn't that great, meaning that there's 4 or 5 players I probably don't want. It's probably time to move a few of them on, and if you help me out and give me some players. Yes, some will.
He won't do that because he's coming as head coach. The team that we've got, these idiots that we've put in charge, the Hughes, the Edwards, the Julian Wards who've come in, all the data team, they're the ones who are supposed to go to the board and say, listen, these are the funds that we need.
But they don't pick the team there, have we?
Slots come, no, but they have enough data and knowledge of what's needed for this team. You've got to remember what Slot said, his first conference, I'm only coming in as a head coach, or not as a manager. Klopp was the manager.
Yes, but that doesn't mean, Avi, if you've got 5 players that that are in this squad that you're not bringing on to have a look at these look at these games and think, you know what, they're not good enough, then it's pretty obvious to the owners that this guy needs reinforcements. There's players that he doesn't want, that don't fit his system. He didn't buy any players. He only bought in Chiesa. He didn't buy any players for the first 6, 7 months. He's given everybody a chance. The ones that approved it, fair play. The ones that are not, you move them out and you bring in replacements. It's not exactly rocket science. Every new manager comes in and you'll see him, stamp his authority on the team, stamp his authority on the squad. And with respect, Slot hasn't done any of that. And yes, we can say it's pointing the finger at the owners, Edwards, Hughes, and all these guys. But now, Avi, he's proven that he's an unbelievable manager in the first 5 months of him being this club. He's taken us back to the top of the Premier League. Yes, we might have drawn today, but he just needs backing. That's all he needs, and that's on the owners and the people that are in charge now to back him and bring him the players that he wants. Your player, and this, look, now I'm gonna have a bit of a go, because this is the issue. We wait for the player. We wait for the player. I get told this all the time by other people. We can only buy this player and nobody else. Well, you wanted Zubomendi and he was the only midfielder we wanted. And guess what? He's gone somewhere else. We waited for that player.
He's not
well, practically got to agree a deal to go to Arsenal, yeah? We're not going to get him, Abby, before you start chatting with your ITK stuff.
Who is saying
practically
that?
agreed, innit? Practically
nothing's agreed. Nothing has been agreed.
Okay, Okay, yeah. What are you trying to say? We're going to gazump him?
I'm saying that people have got on their high horse this morning, very early this morning. You being one of them again, barking like you usually do. Yeah, and we know how you get. You're getting red hot for no reason. Zubi Mendy is a
I'm
Sociedad
actually
player.
talking calmly today, Avi.
Asim, Sociedad is a Zubi Mendy is a Sociedad player. There's been no negotiation whatsoever. Ornstein last week was saying that we were looking at exploring the option of Kvaratskhelia. Now, proper sources, yeah, I'm not saying that Ornstein isn't, but close to Liverpool. I know Joyce said that we're exploring. We haven't even inquired about Kvaratskhelia. So which one is it going to be? There's been no talks
Which
about
sources?
Arsenal getting Zubi
Which
Mendy.
sources had nothing about Kvaratskhelia from Liverpool?
There
Joyce
were
did.
reports
Joyce came
say
out
that
with
we
it,
didn't
didn't
even
it?
inquire about Kvaratskhelia.
Didn't Joyce come out with something when the deal? I'm sure he did.
Sure.
No,
Looking,
he just went off
exploring.
the back of. He
That's
just
the
went off
word
the
that they
back
love,
of.
man.
He just went off the back of Onstein's article, Gene, and just said he would be considered if he was available.
Why is
So
James
then he
Barber
was.
coming for me?
Huh?
Why is James Barber coming for me saying, Avi does
Can I
both?
just say no? I don't understand. Why did he tweet? Why did Joyce tweet something then? If we're saying we're sort of interested if the player comes available, so he practically said the same thing then, yeah.
We made no inquiries to Napoli or De Laurentiis, the owner of Napoli.
Yeah, we didn't make any inquiries, but then they did lay out that if he was available, we will, and we didn't. And this is
Yeah,
my
but
issue with this club.
any top player, if he becomes available, would be if Mbappe becomes available, we'd have a liking to him. Come on, guys, man. Listen, at the end of the day, we need to see what's out there. Okay, forget Zubi for
No, I mean,
Forget Zubi for 1 second. And you're lucky that I'm in my office today and not at home office. Asim, we need to bring a body or two in this January. It will be a travesty. People saying cracks are appearing in the comments. There's no
I was
cracks.
just about to ask you. There's a few chirpy Arsenal
There's no
fans.
cracks. No cracks.
Cracks
Honestly,
appeared. Are you worried? Are you worried?
I'll be worried if we don't beat Brentford. I know they drew today, but I'll be worried if we don't beat Brentford. Yeah. But right now we're on the same games as Arsenal, 7 points ahead. That's a healthy lead on game 20.
Gene, are you worried?
No, you ask him. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm worried. No, Arsenal are not exactly setting the world alight with the way they're playing. We saw Chelsea draw today. We saw.
Can I dispel something else as well? Sorry, I want to dispel something else, Asim.
There's another chirpy Arsenal fan.
Can we please forget about Carlos Baleba, please? I'm telling you that before you guys start putting stats out and do images and start hyping him up on Twitter, forget about Carlos Baleba. Believe you me.
No, because you're telling me to forget about him because he'll be 70-80 million pounds from Brighton.
Yeah,
that's what you're telling me.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Asim, we won't be in that market.
Okay, that's
we
fine.
won't be in that market for the summer. Yes, and then yes, the owners are culpable. I agree now. I am turning my tune. We will not be in for him.
All right, TK. What else? What do you want us to say? You say a lot of things, Avi, that we're not in for this player, we're not in for that player, we're in for this player. You've said a lot of shit over the years, but you've got about 100 wrong. I think there was a summer where you got 8 out of 8 wrong. So with respect, I'm not going to believe the shit that comes out of your mouth. So just chill, yeah. Anyway, Asim, carry on.
Would you play Shimikas?
So over emotional, huh?
Would you? Yeah, let me have a go at you, man. You've come on and you come and go at me. I haven't even said anything to you today.
Gene, would you play Shimikas on the weekend?
Yes. All day, every day. All day, every day. Robbo shit. I'm sorry. He just makes too many mistakes. Until I see Tsimikas make a mistake and concedes a goal, he's done, man.
It's a sad decline at 30 years old. He's declined that badly in the last 18 months. It's very sad to see. Usually at 30, you're still in your peak. It's very sad to see that.
But I don't think Andy Robertson is a normal 30-year-old because of the way he has been playing for the last 8-9 years.
Van Dijk's the same. He's had mileage. Salah has had mileage.
Van Dijk's game is not.
Salah's had mileage.
But Salah has evolved into a technician, into a playmaker, unbelievable creative unit. What is Andy Robertson going to do? When you lose your legs, you need to rely on your technique.
Trent
is unbelievable technically.
No, but he's had mileage. He's had mileage since 18.
He's different types
of mileage. Footballer. He's a footballer.
He's a different type. Robbo was up and down, running up and down. It's all intensity.
His intensity is gone.
I mean, to be honest with you, it's not just intensity. Technical ability. Let's face it, Robbo wasn't exactly the best technically. What he gave us was unbelievable effort. He was a winner. He left 110% on the pitch. And look, if your legs are gone, you can give it 110%, but your legs have gone. Carlos used that famous flipping saying, if it's time to call it a day, it's time to call it a day, sort of thing. So look,
Football
we just
leaves you or something. Yeah, that one.
whether and we really need to bring
Casemiro,
it
wasn't
in a left-sided centre back, man, left-sided left back, full back, whatever you want to call it. It is a must. It really is a must, because I'm telling you, Asim, it will be a massive, massive problem come in a few months' time, and you'll see it.
And you know what, Avi? At that time, when it really hits the fan, the window will be closed. And I don't want to say it, we'll probably get another injury as well. And then what are we gonna do?
I think Joe Gomez could be an option when he gets back at left back. I think he may. I think Slot will have to tweak a little bit as well in the closing stages, last 18 games of the season. You'll have to assess this team because look, Salah, how much you're going to keep playing him? You expected Chiesa by now to at least try and he's got the potential to try and threaten Salah or give him a bit of competition, but there's no way. So Chiesa's far off. Chiesa's way off. You can't play him.
I mean, he could have given us 10 minutes today, yeah. Come on, man. He's not that. You're making it out like he can't even give us 10 minutes. He played 90 minutes in the other. Well, not my 90 minutes. He played on the weekend. He could have given us 10 today.
I don't think
You're not telling me he can't even give us 10.
Slot obviously didn't.
Oh, yeah, come on, man. He's not that much of a gunner, man. Bloody hell.
Slot obviously thought so, didn't he? Slot didn't obviously think so either. I think Elliot could have come on today, Asim, instead of Diaz.
What did you make of Szoboszlai?
I didn't think it was great first half. Second half, that energy was needed. The running was needed. I didn't think he was too great on the ball. He has a great shot, which sells. He had a fantastic game, made a good save. It's just one of his performances. Looking back now the dust has settled, a draw it was a fair result. We should have won it. Salah was
man. We missed sitters today. We missed at least 4. Keeper made 3 absolute blinders. 2 cleared off the line. Come on, you can't say draw was a fair result.
Forest deserved their juice.
In terms of defensively, all right. If that's
first half, they were good. They were good.
Defensively,
they were resolute. They were very resolute today.
I thought we made Nottingham Forest look average.
We did.
I think we did, but the chirpy fans are sticking around. Avi,
we got a Forest fan in today, man.
How we? Sales best keeper.
Fair enough. Yeah, man.
You got to give him credit. He played well today, mate.
I'm telling you, their 2 key players are those 2 idiots in the middle.
Yates. For you to come in, mate.
Yates and Anderson. They're good games. They're good players for them. Dirty players, pick up fouls at the right time. They know which is a yellow card foul and which is a foul that the referee will say another one. You're gone. Or that's 3.
They're a well-drilled side. And
very clever team.
With those wingers, they can hurt any defense in the league, especially on a counter-attack. Avi, I was going to ask you about Liverpool's remaining away games. Oof. Are you, when you look at them, are you worried? Because that's what Arsenal fans are pinning their hopes on. Is Liverpool's remaining away games.
So just on top of my head, we've got Chelsea away. We have Man City away, Villa away,
Brentford away at the weekend.
Saturday.
Everton away.
Everton away.
That'll always be a game.
Talk about those 5 games.
And we got Brighton away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brighton away too.
Are you worried?
You've got to be worried. City will definitely be up for it. Everton, their last game at Goodison Park, especially if it's on a midweek, rainy Wednesday night, will definitely be up for it. They bullied us last season, and that team is still the same. The additional of Chiesa makes no difference to that. Of course, you've got to be worried. But listen, if you want to be champions, you've got to beat the teams in front of you.
But the only thing I think that makes it easy.
Asim, 85 is the benchmark. 85 points guarantees you the league this season. Bournemouth away too.
That's coming up as well, isn't it? It's in the next 5 games, I think.
Al's H has put it up.
He's an Arsenal fan. Chelsea away, City away, Brentford away, Brighton away. Bloody hell, he's got these in his drafts. Villa away, Bournemouth away, Everton away.
But so out of those games, we technically can afford 2 losses and a draw out of those games. As of now, as of where we are now, where Arsenal are, That's two. We can afford
Probably
two.
another loss, I think, because we're going to beat Arsenal at Anfield. So
Oh,
you can
100%.
technically
100%.
say another loss.
Okay. I think if we keep Jota fit, especially against these sort of size
Said
low
it all this
blocks,
time.
he has. If he stays fit, we win the league by. I need to be careful here. I think we win the league comfortably, whether that's about 7 to 8 points if we keep Jota fit.
I'll have my say after Saturday, after the Brentford game.
Sorry?
I'll have my say after the Brentford game.
No, I want you to have a say. We're doing a post-match reaction now, for fuck's sake.
I don't need to give you a say now. I'll say, how many times have you sat on the fence?
No, get off that fence
You
then.
keep drinking your Ribena.
Get off my fence.
Keep drinking your Ribena.
Look, I'm not too. Look, we do have some difficult games that are coming up. But honestly, I just don't think Arsenal are good enough to go on a run.
Arsenal will need a 14 out of 18 winning game
Well,
run.
they ain't doing that.
15,
They ain't doing anything like that.
15. They need to win 15 out of the next 18. They don't.
They ain't doing that, man. They're
They
not
won't
good
do
enough to do that, man. They're not good enough to do that. They're gonna
They're a bit
watch
chirpy
tomorrow.
today. They're a bit chirpy.
They'll bottle it tomorrow, and they'll be crying on AFTV and all the channels. They'll be,
Arsenal have still got Forest away
calling
too.
them out and swearing them and doing all sorts. Relax, man.
What did you say, Avi?
Arsenal still have Forest away. I think Spurs tomorrow. I know it's sounding stupid right now because of Spurs, but I think Spurs are going to do something tomorrow at the Emirates.
If they get me at the Emirates, it'd be so funny.
With that defense, Avi.
That would be Sule, I know you're watching, yeah, but that would be absolute gold, man. If them lot literally kill your title charge, that would be amazing, man.
There's Avi, obviously you've been away on vacation.
He's right about this. You're right.
But Jesus is out for the season too.
Oh, he's minor though. He hardly scores any goals anyway. I'm not too worried about him. It was him, Saka. That's
Avi, a bit of noise around Nunes leaving in January.
Al Hilal. Yeah, I heard about the Al Hilal link. I don't know
70 million apparently. I don't think that's true, but what do you make of it?
70 million. You'd think why we haven't chopped their arm off and accepted that offer.
Exactly.
I'm not being bad, but listen, we all want Nunes to work. We all want him to have some kind of fairy tale ending at Liverpool this season. But it's not going to happen. It just isn't. If we've rejected, if that was true, hypothetically, if that was true, I don't know why we've said no, because that's fantastic money.
Are you going to give us a prediction?
Make your prediction. I've said we win the league. As long as Gina is on that train, I'm there with him in first class. I'm there with him.
I'm always on the train, mate. I'm always on the train. Don't worry about me.
Early predictions for the weekend. I didn't watch the Brentford game, Avi, but the 2-2. Brentford, I watched about 10 minutes. Brentford are playing it out from the back these days.
Chip and Chin will be here on Thursday. We'll tell you then.
Thursday?
Are we going Thursday now?
Thursday instead of Friday. Yeah, I've got something to do on Friday, Thursday.
I've got your guest next week, by the way.
We don't want him.
No. You'll want him. You'll want him. You will want him.
This is going to be
next
fun.
Friday, I've got your guest for Friday.
No, Thursday. It has to be Thursday.
Okay, we'll make it Thursday. Early predictions for next week before we go?
I'm not looking forward to this after this.
We're going
to have a field day against Robo, lads.
We'll beat Brentford away on Saturday. 2-0. I'm going to go with 2-0.
3-2.
3-2. Wow.
Asim, whilst I was out on holiday, I did get information.
Oh, wait on. Let me go on mute. Put you on
Let me go on mute. Can I just leave?
No, don't leave. We need to hear this. Where did you get it from, by the way? Can you tell us?
It was a reputable source out in France.
Did you meet him at the bar, or did you meet her at the bar?
No. It was a him. It's a very reputable source out in France.
Withheld number, random call.
We are definitely interested in a young French midfielder, plays for Monaco. Kamara. Yeah, watch out for him.
I saw your tweet earlier.
I watched
him against Arsenal.
It wouldn't be surprising if we hear concrete links in the next 2 weeks for this player.
Lamine,
players,
not
Avi?
Lamine Yamal, Lamine Kamara. Well,
Yamal is Yamal. Lamine Kamara, yeah.
I watched him. There was another
I
kid.
have, to be honest, I haven't seen him, but I know Dean Thomas. Big shout out to Dean Thomas, who's on our Twitter. He's watched a fair bit of him, and
he's a good player, Avi. Well, I'm judging him by the 45 minutes I watched of him at Emirates.
Is he a bit like Shoumani or totally different?
No, look, I can't judge a player on the 45 minutes, but he's not a Shoumani type.
Okay,
but he can win a ball.
I'll need to watch it.
He can carry the ball as well.
I didn't know anything until the person texted me.
Yeah, so I know. I saw your tweet. A tweet says Titi Kamara. But he's a good player. There was another kid. It's a name like Kvaratskhelia. He's a right-footed, left-footed right winger, just like Salah. And apparently he's the bigger name, and they've got a lot of. Got a lot of
at Monaco.
Yeah, I think Ash will tell me. He's got this one. I knew Ash would never let me down.
Akialuchi.
Yeah, I watched him, but he wasn't great against Arsenal, if I'm really honest. But apparently he's got the bigger reputation.
I think we should be looking at. I don't think we are, but if Trent does leave, I think we'll be looking at Vanderson too of Monaco.
Anyone else? We've got a couple of minutes. You want to get in?
Vanderson, just a name that I like, just a profile that I like.
That's all right.
Throwing off shit.
Thingy, man.
He's throwing off shit.
One will stick.
This guy, man.
That's how
People.
When it's January, this is someone else my game.
ITKs are shameless people, man. Literally shameless people.
Avi's not shameless.
Shoot, lie after lie. They just love to.
Can I give you one exclusive though?
Oh,
you just give us about 10.
You just give me about 5, man.
That's just me giving you that.
No, that was.
We were just telling you guys. I would expect some news to break in the media by reputable sources about Lamine Kamara.
But Avi, you were right about Zubimendi last week. You sent me a message.
Nico Williams.
You sent me a message. Zubimendi next week. Dua karo. You were right. Fucking go to Arsenal. I mean, anyway, on that note, on that exclusive.
I had an exclusive.
How many exclusives are you going to give us?
You didn't let me have the exclusive. I told you I'll go one more.
We'll shoot up now.
Ready for it? I wanted to break it on Thursday, but I'll break it now just in case it might come out via the website. Trent Alexander-Arnold will extend his Liverpool contract.
You tweeted that. That's
no jokes aside. Trent will sign
last week.
Trent will sign. And I don't know anything about VVD or Salah, but Trent will sign.
Did you meet his brother abroad?
I wish I did.
Gene is right.
Muke to the Muha.
You're right, mate. This guy's off his rocker today, by the sounds of it.
No, he's at work. Imagine.
No, he's not going, Patani.
Big up James Barber. I know he's come for me, but it's all tongue in cheek. I like that kind of banter. He's come for me all show, but respect to him. Give him a shout out. Good old James.
Hey, go on, James.
It's in the chat. Big up to James, man. Anyway, boys, thank you very much, Avi, as ever, giving up your time, sacrificing your office time, and joining us, and going for a couple of minutes to do your meeting, and then popping back on. Gene, as ever, thank you very much. We shall see you. Any schedule, boys?
Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Thursday,
so definitely going
on Thursday, and then we'll do another show. Is Brentford on Saturday, on Sunday?
Thursday we'll do Chip and Gene.
Saturday
night we may just do a special, just 1 hour special. Before we do a match on Sunday. Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. See you later.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.